Whether you're doing it yourself or you missed your nail appointment, learning a basic gel manicure application may come handy to you. So why not learn to do it with top-tier gel nail products like Kokoist Japanese Gel? In today's video, we'll be taking you step by step through a basic, no fancy equipment method of doing your own gel nails at home. Grab pen and paper and pay diligent attention as we'll be taking you step by step. Hey there and welcome back to the Kokoist USA channel. I am Paola of paolaponcenails.com and I am a Kokoist USA educator. Kokoist nail products are soak-off and made in Japan. If you'd like to continue learning with us, take a moment to subscribe and hit the notification bell icon to be the first to know when our next video drops. Back to today's topic. Now today's video will show you gentle but thorough technique, and before we dive in, I need you to make me a promise that you will not be aggressive with your removal or application after learning today's tips and tricks for gel nail application at home. If you find yourself damaging your nails, you'll need to promise that you'll leave this to the pros. DIYing means doing it yourself, not destroying it yourself. Deal? Let's get started. When starting any nail service, you'll want to start with washed hands to remove dirt and some oils from off of the fingernails. This will improve adhesion from the get-go. Step 1. Remove any old product. As you may already know, regular nail polish just requires wiping off with acetone, while soak-off gel requires saturation in it. To remove your gel nails, you'll need a board file, acetone, and foil. We have already done a thorough breakdown on this topic. You can check it out in our archives, but in a gist, thin as much gel as possible with a coarse grit file. I'll be using Kokoist diamond-shaped brown hand file, which is 120 grit. These Kokoist files are washable and disinfectable, allowing you to use them on yourself over and over again. Do file until you see that your file is breaking into the gel, touching or almost touching the natural nail. You do want to avoid touching the natural nail, so stop filing that specific area if you've broken through. After doing so, soak a piece of cotton in acetone. I like to use a conditioned acetone, but if you're just working with pure acetone, feel free to drop a drop of cuticle oil on your fingernail or acetone to keep your skin and nails from being dehydrated too much. This, by the way, also helps the acetone evaporate slowly. Wrap the foil tightly and, most importantly, neatly, as you don't want it to tear and leak the strength of the acetone. Make sure your fingers especially do not get cold, and when you're ready to remove, start individually removing each gel nail after 15 minutes. If you are reapplying your gel nails, it is okay to leave a very thin gel layer behind. Do not force it off. We will blend it to the natural nail in just a bit. Step 2. Trim the nails if desired. At this point, you just want to give them a general trim to the shape you are going for. This is not the time to make them perfect, just time to get rid of excess canvas. Step 3. Time for our cuticle work. Remember, the cuticle is what is touching the nail plate. Eponychium is what is surrounding the nail in this area, and many often call these cuticles, but they are not. As a DIYer, you want to focus more on what's touching the nail plate, as that is what will cause lifting if left behind. You want to leave eponychium work for the pros. We will be trimming any hangnails in a bit, but daily cuticle oil will improve dry eponychium so that you can continue focusing on cuticle when doing your own nails. Begin your cuticle work by pushing back the eponychium with a pusher. It can be metal, wood, or even your thumb wrapped in a towelette. Then, scrape the nail with the edge or knife end of the cuticle pusher. This will loosen and remove some cuticle from off of the nail plate, which is the goal. But to fully remove cuticle, remember we want to do so because this is a main cause of lifting. You want to buff or file it off. You want to remove it. For personal use, Kokoist offers a stone pusher that works as a pumice stone would to remove dead skin. Work it in circular motions on the cuticle perimeter of the nail. Be gentle and use light pressure. If you don't have this tool, simply use a 180 grit file. Let the grit of the file do the work for you. Never overfile your nail plate, as it will take months to grow out the damage. Step 4. Trim any skin sticking up. And I do mean only that which is sticking up. Leave the eponychium or any additional skin to be trimmed to the pros, as you may cause damage to yourself and more broken eponychium. Oil your eponychium daily, as we talked about earlier, and you will see how little trimming you will need every time you sit for your nails. Step 5. Buff dry callus skin. This is easier than you think. I recommend grabbing a new 180 grit board file so that you don't rub any dirt or debris on the skin with a used one, and use this new file to smooth out the sidewalls of dry skin. Once we are done with our manicure and we oil or moisturize the skin, it will be as soft as a baby's bum, I promise. Step 6. Now it is time to shape the nail. When working on natural nails, an emery board is recommended. Emery boards have gentle but effective grits and are thinner than board files. You should know that using a gentler file on the nails keeps them from splitting. Step 7. It's optional. If you had old product to remove, it's time to blend that. First, take your 180 grit board file and gently blend any residual gel to the contour of the nail. Follow that up with your 180 grit sponge buffer, starting with the rougher side and finish with the softer side, the 180 grit size. Dust and cleanse. Step 8. Apply your base product. Now for a DIY application, I'm going to strongly recommend bottled products over potted. Potted gel application is the more professional way of applying in Japan, but it is a tad beginner friendlier to use bottles. Using bottles, especially if you are just trying to whip up a super quick one color mani at home, is convenient, as you don't have to buy a separate brush for application. So for base, I'm going to recommend Bonding Duo in a bottle or any of the Nail Thoughts Tinted Bases. They are both quick and easy to apply. Bonding Duo is harder, less flexible than the Nail Thoughts bases, so if your nails are more bendy or on the flimsy side, the Nail Thoughts bases may be more suitable. For the sake of you being able to see the flow of the gel, I'm going to go ahead and use a tinted base. To apply, first apply a wet layer on the entire nail, avoiding touching any skin. If you do touch, wipe it off of the nails with acetone completely and reapply. This will keep it from running into the skin again. Once you've applied, self-level it a tiny bit by dropping and picking up the gel where it needs to be. Allow gravity to self-level your application to perfection. Once you are happy with how it has set, immediately cure it in a gel nail lamp for 30 seconds if you are using either one of the Kokoist units, or 60 seconds if you are using another. And that is it for your gel-based application. You can leave it with this color or apply a color over it. If this is all the color you want, you simply top coat. Or again, feel free to try your hand at potted gel application using a color pot, or simply stick to bottle if you are just a DIYer trying to whip up a quick gel manicure at home. Step 9. Color. If you have opted for color, apply 2 coats, curing in between each layer. Once these are applied, apply 1 coat of top gel and cure for 30 to 60 seconds. Once it is out, I like to not touch it for about 60 seconds, and then I will moisturize using a cuticle oil of choice. And that is it. Once you've done these steps on all of your fingernails, you would have completed a basic but thorough long-wearing application of your very own gel manicure at home. Please, if this video helped you, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Check out the description box below for any current promo codes or other resources available to you. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.